Hi friends, so finally we have our syllabus of FRM Part 1 and Part 2 for 2026 session, and in this video we will discuss what are the changes in 2026 compared to 2025 curriculum. So here we have good news and the bad news. Good news for FRM Part 1 students obviously. This is happening since like past 3 years. So here we have no changes for FRM Part 1, but we have really big changes for FRM Part 2. So before we begin our discussion of these changes, my name is Shashank Pandey. I'm certified FRM and I'm mentor for FRM Part 1, Part 2, CFA Level 1, and Level 2. So let's see what are these changes in detail. So first, FRM Part 1, 20 changes from 2025 to 2026. There are no additions, deletions, or restructuring in any of these subjects. So amazing. This means you can continue your preparation of 2026 session using the 2025 material. If you are using Falcon's material, then I'm planning to make some changes, structural changes in our notes. So you can continue with the 2025 notes, or if you want, you can wait for 2026 notes. If you have started your preparation, go ahead with the Falcon's 2025 edition. Those are like perfect notes, no problem in those notes. But if you want like slightly better notes, then you can wait for 2026. I'm planning to release it by end of the January. Okay. Now, as like because there are no changes in the FRM Part 1 curriculum, so I have not mentioned any detailed list of chapters here. So if you want to know about the chapters, if you want to know about the study plan of FRM Part 1 or Part 2 for 2026 session, that I will release in few days. Okay, so wait for that. Now for the FRM Part 2, so here we have really amazing changes and really big changes here. The good thing is, like for the market credit and the operational risk, there are no changes, no additions, deletions, or restructuring. Now see this. Previously, in the previous 3 years, GAP changed or like restructured, added, deleted, and they made the changes in market credit and the operational risk. So I was anyway like not expecting any changes in these three subjects. The changes were very much expected in the liquidity and the investment risk, but they decided to go with the investment risk this time and not with the liquidity risk. We will next year for sure, in my opinion, we will see liquidity risk changes. Here we have some changes in the liquidity risk. The good thing is there are no additions in the liquidity risk. However, one deletion, really good, like the super good thing, right? And one restructuring here. In the investment management or the investment risk, here we have 8 additions, 3 deletions, so net 8 additions in total, and one chapter restructured. So, what is this restructuring? We will discuss when we see the outline of what are the changes. Okay. Now, in the current issues, this is the usual business. Every year they will change the whole subject. Fortunately, this year we have 3 or 4 topics, same as 2025. They added 5 chapters and deleted 6 chapters. So one chapter less to prepare in the current issues because there are no changes in the market rate and the operational risk. I have not provided any detailed listing of these 2 subjects in this file. For this, again, as I said, for the detailed listing, you can wait for some days and I will provide the study plan for FRM Part 2 as well. Now let's start with the liquidity risk. So here, I'll just summarize the table, what's happening here. So here we have the subject, then the chapter number. This is the 2025 label, okay, 2025-2026 mix label, but again, mainly I'm following the 2025. Chapter name summarized in short. Then we have the changes, like was this chapter in 2025, will this chapter be in 2026, and the remarks if required. So here till LTR 11, that is a reading number 11, till reading number 11 we have no changes in liquidity risk. Reading number 12 is deleted from this, like this 2026 session. So yes, it was there in 2025, now it is not there, and hence the mark is deleted. So deleted content is marked as green because it is good news for students, the welcome change, and the additions are marked as red because yeah, we know students don't like any addition of the readings. Now here we have reading number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 as it is, and reading number 19 is restructured. What happened here? It is removed from the liquidity and added to the investment risk. Okay, so this is the restructuring. So you initially you saw there is a one restructuring in liquidity, one restructuring in the investment risk. So this is the restructuring because they removed from the liquidity, restructuring number 1. They added in the investment risk, restructuring number 1 of investment risk, like this. Okay, so total we have now 17 topics, one deleted, one restructured in the liquidity risk. Right now let's see what happened in the investment risk, or what is going to happen in the investment risk. Now in the investment risk, first six chapters are as it is: value at risk till war and budgeting, the war and risk budgeting. Reading number 7 is deleted. Risk monitoring and the performance measurement is deleted. Reading number 8 from the 25 curriculum. So just see here, this IM 8, the reading number 8 is the reference of 2025 curriculum, and after this you will see /7. So 7 is the reference for 2026. So I am ensured that the reference for both the sessions are mentioned here. Okay, so if you want to just know what is the reference number for 2026 session, so just see the number after the slash. Okay, now the portfolio performance evaluation, this is one of the most readings in this curriculum. So anyway, they are not going to remove this reading. So yes, it was there in the 25 2026, so no change here. Then hedge fund is removed. Reading number 9 is removed. So I won't say this is actually removed, because they replace this with the new authors reading. And here we have the hedge fund investment strategies, which is slightly more detailed reading compared to the previous one. And it was not there in the 2025 and obviously added in the 2026 session. So then we have some new type of readings in the investment risk. So risk regulations and the organizational structure, the risk and the risk of the private credit. So first time introduction of the private credit in our curriculum. So here we have the new reading in 2026. One note for the reading number 10 as per the new curriculum. So rise in the risk of the private credit. This was not in the main curriculum previously. However, in 2025, this reading was in the current issues. So they introduced this reading in current issues, and now they shifted, because remember, current issues readings are temporary readings. They will stay for 1 year, then they will replace it in the next year. Once that reading comes in the investment risk, now you can consider this as a kind of permanent type of reading. Okay, generally they don't change this, like the main core subjects regularly. Okay, so this is going to stay for long. Investment, the rise and risk of the private credit in the investment risk. Okay, so this is the very important note here. Then we have the reading number 11 from the old syllabus reference, the finding of Bernie Madoff fraud detection. It was there in the 2025. Now it is deleted. However, this reading is replaced with the new reading by the name of Madoff riots of red flags, and it was not there, and now we have this in the 2026. This is the addition here, kind of a replacement, but structurally both the readings are different, even though they are talking about the same Bernie Madoff event. Then we have the reading number 11, private markets investing. Again, as I said, the gap shifted into some kind of a private market domain, and here we have one more reading on the private market, but here it is about the investment. Previous one was the about the private credits. Okay, so it was not there in the 2025. Now it is in the 2026 session. So here this is the addition we have. Now reading number 12 from the 2026 curriculum, due diligence on managers and the funds. It is the same reading in the both. Now again we have the new addition, distress symptoms and the remedies. Again private capital, again focus on the private markets. So it was not there, and now it is in the 2026 curriculum. As I said, Madoff riots of red flag, it is kind of a replacement of the old reading. Then we have the market driven scenarios, new addition, liquidity risk management. Uh, Kind of a new addition, but again, we discuss some portion of the liquidity risk in the liquidity risk subject. Here we have it from the portfolio management perspective. This is new addition. And then we have the illiquid assets from the Andrew Young. This particular reading was there in the liquidity risk, which was removed from the liquidity risk and now added to the investment management. Okay, so this is the complete structure change of investment risk. Then we have the current issues changes. In the current issues, first 6 readings completely removed. Reading number 7, 8, 9, monetary and the fiscal policies regulating a crypto ecosystem and the digital resilience and the financial stability. These readings, 3 readings are retained, so you can prepare from even 2025 curriculum. These 3 readings from the 2025 curriculum. And here we have the addition. And just remember, generally the broad outline of the current issues in the FRM Part II syllabus is same. It is all about the cryptos, climate risk, and some new scams happening. Okay, so here also, and the AI and the machine learning. So here also you will see the same thing. So the advances in the AI and the capital markets, financial stability implications of the AI, global drivers of the private credit, again the private credit focus here, geopolitical risk and the financial stability, more of a monetary part, okay, and the currency part, and then the tokenization and the market efficiencies. These are the new readings in our curriculum. Okay, I have to check in details like what is there in these readings, specifically in the geopolitical risk and the financial stability. What is the coverage and the outline? I have to see that. Okay, so this is the whole structural change in the FRM Part 1, Part 2's curriculum. So make sure you prepare FRM Part 1, Part 2 properly. For the more detailed videos on the preparation strategy and so on, make sure you subscribe to this channel because I'll be uploading a lot of content in 2026. Okay, so that's all for this video. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Take care.